92% of you are feeling something right now in love that you cannot even put into words. But the first card that just slammed onto my table is going to shock you because it is the Five of Pentacles, and everyone thinks love should feel abundant, but actually, you are feeling like you are standing outside in the emotional cold, begging for scraps of attention. Listen to me carefully, because what I am about to reveal about your current love feelings will change everything you think you know about your situation. The Five of Pentacles just appeared, and I am getting literal chills because this card is not about money. This is about emotional poverty in the middle of what should be emotional abundance. Drop empty in the comments if you feel like you are giving everything and receiving nothing back, because this Five of Pentacles energy is screaming that you feel spiritually and emotionally bankrupt, even when you are surrounded by love opportunities. This Five of Pentacles is telling me that right now, at this very moment, you feel like you are walking through an emotional snowstorm with holes in your shoes. You see warm light glowing from windows, but somehow you cannot figure out how to get inside where the warmth is. You are the person standing outside the Church of Love, looking through stained glass windows at something beautiful that feels completely out of reach. But here is what this card is really revealing about your current feelings. You are not actually locked out of love. The doors are not actually barred. You are standing in the cold by choice because some part of you believes you do not deserve to come in from the emotional weather. Some part of you has decided that suffering in love is more familiar than receiving in love. The Five of Pentacles represents that specific feeling when you are surrounded by coupled friends, when your social media feed is full of engagement announcements, when love seems to be happening to everyone except you. But more than that, it represents feeling emotionally homeless even when you have a roof over your head, feeling emotionally hungry even when someone is trying to feed you. What I am seeing in this card for your current emotional state is that you feel like you are begging for emotional scraps from people who should be giving you full meals. You are asking for text messages back instead of demanding consistent communication. You are grateful for weekend attention instead of expecting daily priority. You are settling for seasonal love instead of claiming year-round devotion. The two figures on this card are walking together, but they are both wounded, both limping, both supporting each other through hardship. This tells me that even if you are in a relationship right now, both of you feel emotionally impoverished. Both of you feel like you are barely surviving instead of thriving. Both of you are in survival mode instead of celebration mode. But what is making my hands tingle with recognition is that the Five of Pentacles always appears right before help arrives, right before resources become available, right before the emotional winter ends. You feel like you are at your lowest point because you are preparing to climb to your highest point. The second card that just revealed itself is making me question everything because the Hanged Man just appeared, and this completely changes the story I was telling you. This card is making me realize that you are not just feeling emotionally poor. You are feeling completely suspended in love, hanging upside down, unable to move forward or backward. The Hanged Man represents that maddening feeling when you know you need to make a decision about love, but every option feels wrong. You cannot stay where you are because it hurts, but you cannot leave because you are terrified of the unknown. You cannot fight for someone because you are exhausted, but you cannot give up because some part of you still believes. This card is pure emotional purgatory, and I know many of you are feeling this exact energy right now. You are hanging between two worlds. The world where you settle for less than you deserve, and the world where you demand everything you are worth. But you cannot seem to flip yourself right side up long enough to walk into either world with confidence. The Hanged Man is voluntary sacrifice. But what are you sacrificing and why? Are you sacrificing your standards to keep someone who does not appreciate them? Are you sacrificing your voice to keep peace with someone who creates chaos? Are you sacrificing your timeline to accommodate someone else's fear of commitment? What I am seeing for your current emotional state is that you feel stuck in this suspended animation where time is not moving forward, decisions are not getting made, conversations are not happening, and progress feels completely impossible. You are living in relationship purgatory where nothing is resolved but nothing is ended. The hanged man sees everything from an upside-down perspective, which means you are probably understanding truths about your love situation that you could not see when you were standing right side up. You are seeing people's real motivations, their real limitations, their real capacity for growth or change. But here is what this card is also telling me about how you feel right now. You are tired of waiting for other people to make decisions that affect your life. You are tired of being patient with people who are taking advantage of your patience. You are tired of being understanding with people who never try to understand you. The hanged man energy says you are ready to flip yourself right side up and start walking forward. But some part of you is scared of what you will lose when you stop accommodating other people's emotional immaturity. Some part of you has gotten so comfortable with suffering that happiness feels dangerous. My private community has been having complete meltdowns over this exact hanged man energy. They keep asking when the suspension will end, when the waiting will be over, when clarity will finally arrive. The third card that just materialized is sending lightning through my entire body because Queen of Swords just appeared, and this queen is done with your current emotional situation. She has cut through all the confusion and she is ready to speak truth that will slice through denial like a hot knife through butter. Queen of Swords represents that part of you that is emerging from emotional confusion, with razor-sharp clarity about what you will and will not accept in love. She has survived heartbreak and betrayal and manipulation, and she has learned to trust her own judgment more than other people's promises. This queen sits on her throne with a sword pointed toward the sky, which means she is ready to cut away everything that is not serving your highest good in love. She is not interested in being nice anymore. She is not interested in giving people the benefit of the doubt anymore. She is interested in truth. What I am feeling from this Queen of Swords energy about your current emotional state is that you are moving from confusion into clarity, from hope into standards, from patience into boundaries. You are tired of making excuses for people who never make effort for you. You are tired of being understanding with people who never try to understand you. The Queen of Swords represents that moment when you stop asking why someone treats you badly and start asking why you allow it. When you stop trying to fix other people and start protecting yourself. When you stop hoping people will change and start accepting them exactly as they are. Which means accepting that they might not be right for you. This queen has learned that love without respect is not love. That attention without intention is not investment. That words without actions are just noise. That potential without progress is just fantasy. She has learned to listen to what people do instead of what they say. The butterflies in the background of this card represent transformation through cutting away what no longer serves. You are not becoming cold or bitter. You are becoming clear. You are not closing your heart. You are opening your eyes. What this Queen of Swords is telling me about how you feel right now is that you are ready to have conversations you have been avoiding. You are ready to ask questions you have been scared to ask. You are ready to make decisions you have been postponing. You are ready to stop being a victim of your own kindness. The sword she holds represents discernment, the ability to cut through emotional manipulation and see situations clearly. You are developing this sword-sharp discernment about who deserves access to your heart, your time, your energy, your future. But Queen of Swords energy also means you are learning to communicate your needs without apologizing for having them, to set boundaries without explaining why you need them, to make decisions without needing other people's approval or understanding. The fourth card that just exploded onto this reading is making every cell in my body vibrate with recognition because Two of Cups just appeared, and this is the plot twist nobody saw coming. after feeling emotionally bankrupt, suspended in confusion, and ready to cut people off. Two of Cups appears like dawn after the longest night. But wait, this Two of Cups is not appearing to contradict everything we just discussed. This card is appearing to show you what becomes possible when you stop accepting emotional poverty, when you flip yourself right side up, when you speak with Queen of Swords clarity. The Two of Cups represents equal exchange, mutual respect, balanced giving and receiving, emotional partnership that feeds both people instead of draining one person to fill the other. This card is showing you what love feels like when both people show up fully, when both people invest equally, when both people prioritize the connection. What I am seeing in this Two of Cups energy is that you are moving toward a love situation where you will not have to beg for attention, fight for priority, or settle for emotional scraps. You are moving toward love that meets you at your level instead of asking you to lower your standards. The two figures on this card are facing each other as equals, both holding cups, both ready to share what they have to offer. Neither person is empty. Neither person is taking more than they give. Neither person is trying to fix or change or save the other person. This represents how you are going to feel in love once you stop accepting less than you deserve. You will feel seen, heard, valued, prioritized, celebrated, protected, and cherished. You will feel like someone actually wants to build something beautiful with you instead of just taking what you offer without reciprocating. The Two of Cups appears after the Queen of Swords because sometimes you have to cut away what is not working before you can receive what is working. Sometimes you have to empty your hands of the wrong person before the right person can fill them. But here is what is making me emotional about this Two of Cups placement. This card is not just showing you future love. This card is showing you present self-love. The equal exchange is happening between you and yourself first. You are finally giving yourself the respect, attention, and care you have been giving to people who did not appreciate it. The lion above the caduceus on this card represents courage. The courage to believe you deserve the love you give to others. The courage to walk away from situations that drain you. The courage to wait for love that feeds you. The courage to trust that reciprocal love actually exists. What this Two of Cups is telling me about your current feelings is that even though you feel emotionally poor right now, even though you feel suspended in confusion, even though you are ready to cut through illusions, underneath all of that, you can feel something beautiful trying to be born. Comments are absolutely going insane right now with people saying they can feel this Two of Cups energy calling to them from the future. You all are so incredibly intuitive. It gives me chills every single time. The fifth card that just revealed itself is making me gasp out loud because Eight of Swords just appeared, and this card is showing me the real reason you feel trapped in your current love situation. This is not about other people. This is about the mental prison you have built around your own heart. Eight of Swords represents feeling trapped by your own thoughts, limited by your own beliefs, imprisoned by your own fears about love and relationships. The woman on this card is blindfolded and surrounded by swords, but if she could see clearly, she would realize that the prison has no walls and she can walk away at any time. This card is revealing that you feel stuck in love because you have convinced yourself that your options are limited, that your standards are too high, that asking for what you want is selfish, that leaving unsatisfying situations is mean, that hoping for better is unrealistic. But the Eight of Swords is actually a liberation card disguised as a prison card. Those swords surrounding you are not walls. They are the very tools you need to cut through the mental barriers keeping you trapped in emotional situations that no longer serve you. What this card is showing me about your current feelings is that you know you deserve better, but you have talked yourself into believing that better is not available to you. You know certain people are not right for you, but you have convinced yourself that maybe you are asking for too much. The blindfold represents willful ignorance, choosing not to see red flags because seeing them would require action you are not ready to take, choosing not to acknowledge patterns because acknowledging them would mean admitting you have been accepting unacceptable behavior. But here is what gives me hope about this Eight of Swords energy. The blindfold is loose. The ropes around her hands are loose. The swords create a path if she chooses to walk it. Liberation is always possible when you are ready to stop making excuses for why you cannot have what you want. This card represents that suffocating feeling when you know exactly what you need to do, but you keep finding reasons to postpone action. When you know exactly what conversations need to happen, but you keep avoiding them. When you know exactly who needs to be released from your life, but you keep holding on. The castle in the distance represents the love life you could have if you stopped imprisoning yourself with limiting beliefs. The water at her feet represents emotional flow that becomes possible when you stop damming up your own feelings with fear and doubt. What the Eight of Swords is really telling me about how you feel right now is that you are ready to remove the blindfold, untie the ropes, and walk through the swords toward the castle. You are ready to stop being your own jailer in love. The sixth and most powerful card that just slammed down onto my reading table is making my entire body shake with recognition because the star just appeared, and this card represents the healing that becomes possible after you escape the mental prison of the Eight of Swords. The star always appears after destruction, after loss, after the tower moments that force you to rebuild from scratch. This card represents hope restored, faith renewed, guidance received, healing that goes deeper than just feeling better, healing that changes who you are at the core level. The woman on the star card is naked and unashamed, pouring water from two pitchers, one onto land representing practical action in the physical world, one into water representing emotional and spiritual renewal. This represents the integration of practical wisdom with intuitive knowing. What the star is revealing about your current love feelings is that underneath all the emotional poverty, all the suspension and confusion, all the mental imprisonment, there is a wellspring of hope that has never been completely extinguished. Even when you felt completely lost, some part of you knew that healing was possible. The stars above her head represent guidance from higher consciousness, divine timing, universal support for your healing journey. What feels like cosmic punishment right now is actually cosmic preparation for something better than you have ever experienced. This card appears in love readings when someone is ready to heal the core wounds that have been attracting unhealthy relationship patterns, when someone is ready to stop repeating cycles and start creating new possibilities, when someone is ready to love from wholeness instead of from emptiness. The star represents that feeling when you finally understand that everything you have experienced in love, the disappointments, the betrayals, the confusion, the emotional starvation, all of it was preparing you to recognize and receive real love when it arrives. But here is what makes me want to cry happy tears about this star placement. This card is not just promising future healing. This card is confirming that healing is happening right now. Even though you still feel confused and hurt and tired, your heart is already repairing itself at the cellular level. The water being poured represents emotional cleansing, washing away toxic patterns, old wounds, limiting beliefs about what you deserve in love. You are literally becoming a different person who will attract different experiences because you are changing at the vibrational level. What the star is telling me about your current feelings is that even when you feel hopeless about love, even when you feel like giving up, even when you feel like you will never find what you are looking for, some part of you still believes. Some part of you still hopes. Some part of you still knows that magical love exists. I had to close my personal reading calendar early this week because the energy around this star transit has been so intense. Everyone is feeling this healing potential and wanting guidance through the process. The seventh and final card that just materialized from the depths of this reading is making me want to stand up and applaud because Ace of Wands just appeared. And this card represents the spark of new beginning that is igniting in your love life right now as we speak. Ace of Wands is pure creative fire, new passion being born, inspiration that demands action, divine spark that ignites transformation. This is not just hope for future love. This is life force energy awakening within you that will magnetically attract experiences that match your new vibration. The hand emerging from the cloud offers you a wand that is already sprouting new growth, which means the universe is literally handing you the tools for romantic renewal. But you have to be willing to take the wand. You have to be willing to act on the inspiration. You have to be willing to trust the fire. What this Ace of Wands is revealing about your current love feelings is that underneath all the confusion and disappointment, a new desire is being born. A clearer vision of what you want is emerging. A stronger sense of what you will no longer accept is solidifying. This ace represents that feeling when you suddenly know exactly what you need to do, when confusion transforms into clarity in a single moment, when you feel ready to take action you have been postponing for months or years. The castle in the background represents the stable love you are building toward, but the wand in the foreground represents the passion and inspiration you need to get there. This is not passive waiting for love to find you. This is active creation of the love life you want. What makes me want to dance about this Ace of Wands placement is that it represents new romantic beginnings that are completely different from your past patterns. This is not recycled love. This is not familiar dysfunction. This is genuinely new energy creating genuinely new possibilities. The wand itself represents masculine fire energy. Taking action, making decisions, moving forward, creating momentum, refusing to stay stuck in situations that drain your life force. Even if you identify as feminine energy, you are learning to access this masculine power when it comes to your love life. But the sprouting leaves represent feminine earth energy, nurturing what grows, creating conditions for flourishing, being receptive to good things, allowing abundance to take root. The Ace of Wands is the perfect marriage of inspired action with receptive allowing. What this final card is telling me about how you feel right now is that you are on the verge of a breakthrough that will change everything. You feel it building. You feel something shifting. You feel old patterns dissolving and new possibilities crystallizing. The comments are absolutely on fire right now, with people saying they can feel this Ace of Wands energy crackling in their own lives. This is not just my reading. This is collective energy that many of you are tapping into simultaneously. This has been one of the most emotionally intense readings I have ever channeled, because these 7 cards tell the complete story of transformation, from emotional poverty to abundance, from confusion to clarity, from imprisonment to freedom, from despair to hope, from stagnation to inspired action. Your current love feelings are complex because you are in the middle of metamorphosis. You feel empty because you are making space for something fuller. You feel confused because old patterns are dissolving before new ones have completely formed. You feel suspended because you are transitioning between 2 completely different ways of experiencing love. But what gives me chills of recognition about this entire spread is that every single challenging card contains the seeds of its own solution. The 5 of Pentacles leads to the Star. The Hanged Man leads to Queen of Swords clarity. The 8 of Swords leads to liberation. And it all culminates in the Ace of Wands promising that new love is not just possible, it is inevitable. If this reading hit you like lightning in the heart, if you felt these exact feelings reflected back to you, if you are ready for the love transformation these cards are promising, you know where to find me for deeper guidance through whatever comes next. Subscribe now, because your love life transformation is just beginning, and these cards have so much more to reveal about what is coming for you. The universe is not done speaking through these cards, and neither am I.